fans, it's games like this that used to get me over-medicated.
You're listening to Sports Zone.
Just a bit outside.
Where real guys talk sports.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when we left you, we were talking about Ray Rice and Matt Forte's deals. And we were talking about whether, who we liked better, which guy we would have went with. It seems a little unanimous. We both like Ray Rice. So, believe it or not, they actually went down to like 3 minutes before the 4 p.m. deadline to get this deal done. A lot of people didn't think it was going to happen. The report I heard before I left for the gym or whatever was that they were at something like a 20% chance of getting it done. Somebody close to the deal said that it was about a 20% shot of them getting it done by the deadline. And, well, that 20% happened to pay off. So I actually think it's a great move by Baltimore. You got to keep a guy like Ray Rice. You got to keep him happy as well. And he's a Rutgers dude, so we're all rooting for him around this area anyway. But I got signed out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be anonymous from now on. Sorry about that. Anyway, in each of the 4 years Ray Rice has been on the Baltimore Ravens, the Ravens have made the playoffs. 2 of the 4 years they've made it to the AFC title game. He's earned 2 Pro Bowl selections in his 4 years. He led the NFL in yards from scrimmage with 2,068 yards. That is insane. Wow.
That is definitely a lot of yards.
That is a lot of yards.
Has he had 2,000 yards every single year?
That I don't think so. In 61 career games, Ray Rice has 4,377 rushing yards, a total of 6,612 yards from scrimmage. So if you break that down by 4, then no, he did a third of his yards pretty much just last year. Last year was his best year. He scored a franchise record 15 touchdowns last year and had a career best 1,364 yards rushing. He also led the Ravens with 76 catches for 704 yards. Pretty much these two guys do exactly the same role for their 2 teams. And it's sort of perfect how things unfolded where these guys get their exact amount of money. They each get the same thing if you really think about it. 5 years, $40 million. Take a year off, take $8 million off, you get 4 years, $32 million. Like Joey pointed out earlier in the show, I think the length of Rice's deal is based on the fact that there's more faith in Ray Rice than there is in Matt Forte when it comes down to production on the field as well as health.
I think it's more health than production on the field because, like you said, they're both 1A, 1B pretty much. They both do primarily the same thing. They're both the bulk of the offense for the offense for their teams. I just think Forte didn't get that extra year because of his knee injury.
You know what? You're probably right. And they probably more of a, all right, well, we're not committed too long-term. God forbid something acts up or something happens or whatever it might be. You sort of cover yourself by not giving that extra year. And they also, at the same time, give themselves the opportunity to, for Forte, he maybe gets out of there before the prime of his career is over. And maybe he gets one more nice deal before he retires. I don't know. That's the thing with football and especially running backs. You can't sit there and say this guy's going to be playing 5-6 years from now. You look at a franchise quarterback, well, I look at Eli. Eli's going to be playing for another 8-9 season. Tom Brady's going to be playing for another 3-4 years. Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for another 10-11 years. You know what I mean? Like franchise quarterbacks, franchise left tackles, franchise pass rushers. There's certain guys you look at and you're just like, yeah, you're going to be here for a long time. But running backs, you just can't make that judgment with for the simple fact that you don't know what's going to happen with these guys because every time they touch the ball, they take a beating. Running backs don't ever get that opportunity to get the ball and just shoot and go and have nobody hit them. It's not like a wide receiver running a 60-yard deep route and just blowing past people. Like they get hit every time they touch the ball. So their life, their shelf life is limited. So I like both deals. I think both players and both teams made the right decision. I don't think for either one of these guys going in on the franchise tag was even worth the time or the effort because you knew they would have gotten paid next year. So why not get it done, get it over with, and now you have your franchise tag to designate for another player like in Baltimore's case, they can now franchise
gonna be
Joe
Flacco.
Flacco if they have to. So I think this is a great move, and my favorite part about it is it's a little less drama in a negative sense coming from the NFL. I like fun drama in the NFL. Fun drama is cool.
I feel like that's fun drama until the deadline.
Well,
If you're
yeah,
not- if you're not signed after the
unless you're a
deadline-
fan of the Ravens
If
or
you're
a
not
fan of the
signed at the
Bears.
deadline and you're going to hold out, then it becomes stupid.
Yeah, like
This
it-
was fun.
Yeah.
Letting them sweat it out until the last, day of that, and then they get their deal. They deserve their deal. So
Well, let's see. Forte got his deal right when we got back to my house after the show. We didn't even know about Forte's deal during the show yesterday. So that happened after the show, which we'll say around 1 o'clock. And then the Ray Rice deal got announced at like 3:57. I think
but
it
for
got
all we
announced.
know, that got done at like 2 o'clock. They're like, we'll announce it at like 3:55.
Well, they were saying, I mean, obviously, you're right in the sense that nobody's in the meeting room with the agent and the owners and
we
stuff.
have no idea.
Yeah, so you truly don't know. But at 2 o'clock, there was no news coming out about it. But
That's what I would do. I'd wait till 3:59 and say something. I'd be like, yeah, it's already signed. Wait till 3:59.
the fans on the edge of their seat. Are they
Hell
going to
yeah.
sign Rice? Don't let Ray Rice go. That's how I would. I mean, I don't know. There's certain players you just don't want to lose. You love them. But
All right.